Welcome to the industry.
This is the Digital Media Production Program at West Virginia University at Parkersburg. In this program, students learn what it's like to work in a studio environment, learning various skills in videography, sound engineering, editing, and creative collaboration. For those who have aspirations in film, sound, and music production, the DMP program is a place where you can build upon your skills in a nurturing and collaborative environment while learning to use industry-standard equipment, software, and techniques that are found often in the field. This won't be difficult, as with smaller class sizes, students will receive more one-on-one instruction time with quality instructors who care about nurturing students' abilities, enriching their education, and seeing their students unlock their potential.
Sweet.
One day at a time. For those with big dreams and potential to be discovered, the Digital Media Production Program is a place for you to unlock your potential.
Can I clap?
Yeah.
Woo! Dad, I can't help myself. Oh, that was good. I didn't blink for all that.
Traveling by, driving in a car tonight as you're watching the show, and you're doing so safely. I believe we're recording, so we'll be able to share this as well in the future. And so welcome tonight. We have several folks and a variety of talent that we're going to showcase tonight during our third annual show. Just to remind everyone, and I'll be saying this a few times throughout the night, we do have People's Choice voting. That is available because our judges, they might not get it right. So you can help us make sure that we get the best person or we pick the best act. So you can go to, at any point in the evening, www.wvup.edu/vote. And if you go there, you'll be able to vote for the People's Choice Award. Voting for that will close at the conclusion of the last performance. So I'll try to remind you to keep you on your toes there and vote for your favorite act tonight. Before we get to the talent, we're going to go to a group of people that have no talent, but they claim they know it when they see it. And that is our group of judges. And our first judge tonight is Amelia Hartzog. And Amelia and I were talking before we joined on the call tonight. And I think she shares the same talent that I share. We both have a lot of jokes, but no humor. So my future cellmate in the penitentiary, Amelia Hartzog. Amelia, introduce yourself and then give us an idea of what you're going to be looking for tonight as a judge.
Thank you, Andrew. And yes, I am humorless, absolutely, but terrible with every joke. So my name is Amelia Hartzog, as he said, and I am actually the president of the art club, and I feel very honored to be one of the judges tonight. I know that we have a lot of really great talent here, and I hope to see everybody. I personally do not do performance. I have severe stage fright, so anybody doing any performance, bravo. I can't do it, but if you can, that is amazing. I envy you just a little bit. I'm more of a pen to paper person, but I'm so glad that everybody's here, and I can't wait to see you perform.
Awesome. Thank you, Amelia. Our next judge is Hunter Schrader. Hunter is a sports guy who has a really awesome beard. We were talking, I can't grow hair right here. So maybe Hunter, maybe you can help me with that talent and I can grow out a beard at some point. Hunter, tell us just a little bit about yourself and tell us what inspires you to judge and observe talent. What do you like when you're engaging in, observing, music, art, theater, performance, those sorts of things?
All right. First of all, I'm Hunter Schrader. I'm a digital communications major, and I always been a fan of music. So that's kind of why I decided to judge, is just to listen to some music from our own students and see what kind of talent we have.
Awesome. Well, welcome, Hunter. And again, rockin' beard. I love that. Our next judge is Madam President of our Student Government Association, LV Hissam. LV, I know that you're also an artist. Can you tell us what advice would you give our performers tonight as they present their work and as they kind of talk with the judges? What would you like to tell them?
Well, I can remember being 17 years old, and I was in choir, and we had a person come over to our choir who worked as a scout for Broadway and things like that. And he always told us to tell the truth and talk a lot. So basically, as long as you're being honest with yourself and basically speaking from your heart, I feel like that'll help to translate to everybody else the point that you're trying to get across, and the emotions that you're trying to implement through your performance and through your artwork and just through your creativity in general.
Awesome. I'm hearing you say just be yourself and be true to yourself. That's awesome. Well, thank you, LV. And our last judge for this evening is Thomas Hearn. Thomas and I were chatting before we started tonight, and he is an implant from blown in from the Windy City of Chicago. So from Illinois, and made his way here and is studying at WVUP Parkersburg in the Digital Communication Media program. Thomas, introduce yourselves and then tell us what are you looking forward to most tonight as a judge?
Perfect. I'm Thomas Hearn. I'm a digital communications major, as Andrew stated. Specifically, I'm not really looking for anything too crazy. I just want people, as LV pointed out, I want them to be themselves. I want originality to the best it can be. I want people to just give me their 10 out of 10, and then they might get my 10 out of 10, if you know what I'm saying. That's really about it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, judges. We appreciate you being here. And I know I joked about them not having talent, but we have a very talented set of judges tonight. And we're glad that they're taking time out this evening to participate and help out with this contest. And hopefully they make the right choice. If they don't, remember, we do have the People's Choice Award, and you're able to go to wvup.edu/vote and vote for your favorite folks. But you probably need to see a few acts before you can pick your favorite. So our first act tonight is going to be from Morgan Kale, and we're going to play a video of Morgan's talent. Morgan Kale is 19 years old and from Leroy, West Virginia. She recently finished homeschool and is currently raising her German Shepherd puppy, Tucker. So we are going to move to her video, and then we will see what she has in store for us tonight.
Mom, do you remember when I was so small? You held me as I cried all night. There was no relief at all. The years would come and go, along with tears when I was torn. Still there was your shoulder, like it was when I was born. Now I'm graduating,
right. I see the video has ended. I don't think Morgan has been able to join us tonight. I'm not sure if we have a technical issue on her end. I know that our students are often very busy. Morgan might very well be in class tonight. So Morgan, I'm sorry that we don't have you on yet, but we'll go ahead and have the judges kind of run through their thoughts and comments on our first act. If Morgan does join us, we'll bring her in. If she joins us later this evening, we'll bring her back in and have a quick chat with her. But you know, getting her right out the gate, we're going to start with our first judge, Amelia. What would you have to say about Morgan's performance and your thoughts there?
Well, as I was listening to it, I know she didn't seem a little nervous at first, and then she really warmed up in her performance, and she did very well. I really liked her confidence. That performance was done in front of many people, it looks like, and that's not easy. She had great intonation as she was singing. If you could hear it a little bit, but as she was singing, she didn't have any notes in front of her. It looked like it was all done from memory, and that's great. And she noticed immediately by ear that if she was going off with the piano, that she corrected it, and she was matching very beautifully. It was really well done.
All right, good. Hunter, what would you like to add to that?
I thought, like Amelia said, she started out a little nervous, but she really pushed through and persevered. I liked the way she was able to use her vocals and hit the high notes. That was really impressive. So I give her a solid job on that.
All right, great. Thank you, Hunter. LV, what do you have to say for Morgan tonight?
Well, I listened to her voice, and it's so gorgeous. She has like this very warm sounding voice. It sounds like very warm and inviting, and that, along with what the theme of the song, it just kind of gives you like this heartwarming feeling. There were a few instances where nerves kind of settled in, and there were instances of breathlessness, but that's, you know, to be expected at times, because after almost a little over 10 years in choir, I can empathize with that extremely. So it's like any of us would really, you know, have a moment like that. And so that's very normal, very common to happen. So overall, she has a very gorgeous, a very warm, a very full voice. Her intonation and diction is absolutely incredible, and her support is just phenomenal. Like, it's just absolutely gorgeous, like a ray of sunshine.
That's a really great compliment, a ray of sunshine. And I'm going to say you judges are really stepping up a notch and using some you know, good terminology here. I may have to pull out a dictionary. I hope Dr. Young in our music department isn't watching, and because he's going to be a bit disappointed in me, but very pleased with you all. So Thomas, let's keep the comments rolling in. What would you like to add to Morgan's performance?
I just want to say that it was a very beautiful performance. At first, I didn't even know she was in it looks like a church of some sort. But oh man, it was beautiful. I can't tell if she's only in the church or if that's kind of what she does, but I think that she can make it very, very far with the music stuff as long as she keeps up with it and puts her head towards it. I think that was beautiful, and I think I would really like to hear more of her backstory if she were in the call. But even with her not here, I think she's going to get a solid vote from me.
All right, great. Yeah, and we'll keep monitoring if she's able to join us. We appreciate that feedback. You know, it's not, you know, that's the true meaning of talent, really, is you can make things look easy. And even the little struggles that she had, she corrected, and that's great. So just remember, if Morgan's your favorite, you can vote for her at wvup.edu/vote. If you still need a few more acts to look at before you can pick your favorite, that's certainly understandable. The People's Choice voting will be open all evening until the conclusion of our last act. So we're going to move forward to our next act. Our next contestant is Matt Van Fossen. Matt is new to the Parkersburg area. He loves country music and grew up on Reba McEntire. Me too, Matt, me too. He has 4 pups and a loving husband supporting him tonight. Matt is also, before we started, he is also working tonight, as many of our students have many roles and responsibilities. So hopefully it looks like he's on the call for us. So welcome, Matt. We're going to play your video first, and then we'll have a little bit of chat with the judges. So we'll roll the video and come back for some comments.
you're beautiful, and you're still my best friend. The way you love is like a miracle, and the way you move makes perfect sense. But if this were a love song, now there wouldn't be so many tears. I wouldn't be sleeping alone, because you would still be here. And if I hadn't lost you, I wouldn't be listing all the things that I did wrong. If this were a love song, yeah. Well, you're the biggest part of me, and that won't ever change. And they say, if you love someone, just set them free. Pray that they don't fly away. If this were a love song, yeah, there wouldn't be so many tears. I wouldn't be sleeping alone, because you would still be here. And if I hadn't lost you, I wouldn't be listing all the things that I did wrong. If this were a love song, Lord, I had to let you go. But yeah, there's one thing you gotta know, that everything I did, everything I said, oh my God, I meant it. If this were a love song, now there wouldn't be so many tears. I wouldn't be sleeping all alone, because y'all would still be here. And if I hadn't lost you, I wouldn't be listing all the things that I did wrong. Yeah, thank you. But if this were a love song, there wouldn't be so many tears. I wouldn't be sleeping alone, because you would still be here. And if I hadn't lost you, I wouldn't be listing all the things that I did wrong. If this were a love song, yeah. If this were a love song, yeah. But this ain't no love song.
Upbringing. I do have two questions for you. Number one, how do you get a pillow to sound like that guitar? That's really good. That is extreme talent. And so my actual real question for you, Matt, what inspires you to sing and as an artist? What inspires you?
Oh, I was muted. Sorry.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, well, the pillow thing, it was a special hotel in Columbus, and I was feeling the vibe, so the pillow worked out really well. Music for me is like, how do I want to put this? I started out doing singing back in my 20s. I'm now the elder statesman of the group here, coming into education later on in life. But, you know, I was obsessed with Reba McEntire, and the next thing you know, I had my first song on the radio. And then 6 months later, my mom passed away, and I've kind of half done it now for the last decade because of that loss. And so, being a student, you know, here at WVUP, and coming out of the pandemic and not being able to sing a bunch, I was like, you know what? I just want to get back out there. let Parkersburg know, what's going on with me, and that I like to sing, and hopefully get to the chance to perform more in the area. So.
That is great. Thank you for sharing that. And sorry about your loss, but it is good to hear that you're using that and turning that around and leaning in on a talent. And in these times, that's really awesome. So I appreciate you sharing that. So
Yep.
We're going to cut to our judges and get their feedback. Since it's not just my show tonight, we'll move to our judges. Our first judge, Hunter, what do you have to say to Matt for his performance?
First of all, I would like to say sorry for your loss, man. I know that's tough and rough. But I love country music. Like, that is my brand of music. I'm from Waterford, Ohio. I lived there my whole life. I'm huge on country music, and I know country music stars when I see them, and you got the country voice. I love the performance. I dig it. You killed it. Awesome stuff, my man. Good stuff.
Awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Hunter. LV, you're next. What do you have to add to that?
Well, when I listen to your voice, I'm very sorry to say country is not my most favorite genre. However, I love it whenever it is done well. And in this case, it was done well. Your voice, you know how to carry it. You know how to support it. You're like a musician who knows how to utilize their instrument and utilize it well. So I thoroughly enjoyed your performance. Your voice is very, very warm. It sounds like a warm fireplace and like I'm sipping a nice cup of tea in a log cabin, and I feel very calm. I feel so calm. I also love the way that your entire video was shot. It was very picturesque. I highly enjoyed that. But your voice is absolutely gorgeous, and you should definitely, whenever you get the chance, continue performing, because that was amazing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I needed to hear that. So thank you.
Awesome. That's great. All right, Thomas, what do you have to say for Matt?
I know he said I came from the Windy City, but that shouldn't mean that I don't know anything about country music. Moving down here, I have taken a liking to country music. A lot of my friends would kind of make fun of me for that because I made an oath when I moved here, no country, but the twang on your voice, you hear one in a million. And then for you to come and talk about your mother passing away, and I'm kind of getting emotional over here, but my goodness, you have a lot of talent. It's not something that's just going to kind of, it shouldn't. You said you haven't really taken it too serious for the last decade. I'm telling you, you take it serious for a couple years, and you're gonna be somewhere you never imagined. You did amazing.
I mean, I'm done. I'm proud to say that. Thank you for that, because I will tell you, when I was on my way to the hospital, she had a stroke. She was 50 and she passed away instantly at work. And when I got to the hospital to say goodbye to her, I turned the radio back on and my song was on the radio. And I knew that was I felt like that was her way of saying, don't quit, but I failed her. But maybe I'm at a place now where I can not fail her,
Hey, and that's the thing, is failure is totally open for perception, man. Now, you didn't fail anybody. Yeah. Let me just tell you, you're doing awesome, and you still got tons of potential. Tons.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's great. And Thomas, that's you can always pick up and be fans of new music and new cultures, even a small city like Parkersburg, coming from Chicago. And Matt, it's inspirational just to hear you chat and talk about that. And thanks for sharing. And it's never too late to get involved in things. You mentioned being coming to school late. That's all right here at WVUP. We like folks who come at all stages of life. I enjoy it as a faculty member, having students fresh out of high school, and some still in high school, and then students that are older than me. They're still my kids, but they get to talk and interact with each other, and everyone brings some level of expertise in, and it's great. We do offer that for all of our students. Not that tonight's an advertisement for the college, but I just put it out there that we have a lot of opportunities for anybody at any stage of life. So we're glad to have you, and I'm really glad that you performed. Amelia, I haven't forgotten about you. What would you like to add comment-wise for Matt tonight?
Well, a lot of people actually summed it up very nicely, but as soon as you opened your mouth, I thought, wow, because the first thing I heard was fantastic breathing and great control of your voice. Like, it carried so well. That or your microphone is lying, but I don't think so. So
it was just my iPhone.
It was just your iPhone? Oh my gosh.
That's it.
That's awesome. I have not heard a phone record that great of audio in a while. So it was a real honor to hear your performance. It was really well. And like said before, it sounds like you can definitely go places with this talent. And I think you said you had your song play on the radio.
Yeah, I've had a couple of songs that have been on the radio. It's been a couple of years, so that, you know, the pandemic and everything else, and I just kind of like, you know, reassess life a little bit because you couldn't go and you have to make choices. And my mom's mom is still alive, and you know, they were trying to get people to come out of not retirement but come out and sing and do things. And you know, I had to make a choice. Do you want to be able to see your 80-year-old grandmother, or do you want to go sing for people at a bar? You know, so I chose my grandma. And now we're coming into a place where everything's opening back up, so I'm like kind of ready to get back out there. And now, of course, I live in Parkersburg. Before I was in Wheeling, so I'm ready to start a new chapter.
That's amazing. And it sounds like you're already going places. You've already taken the right steps. I would keep going. Thank you.
Awesome. That is great. That is great. Moving right along this evening, a couple of things our tech folks wanted me to remind everyone that sometimes Facebook doesn't play well with live music or with music recordings. So just to let you know, if you're joining us via Facebook tonight, if something happens and the audio disconnects or we get shut down, it's because Facebook doesn't believe that we can play the music that we're playing. So you can always join us on YouTube Live as well. And welcome to those that have joined us in both platforms. I scrolled through the list of some of the usernames on Facebook, and I recognized some dignitaries, some current and some retirees from WVUP, and some community members. So thank you for joining us tonight. We're so glad to have you and your support for our students and their talent and all of the activities that we put on here at the college. And just to remind you, if you really liked Matt's performance and want to give him a vote, you can go to wvup.edu/vote. And you can put a vote in there, but you might want to wait on that because there might be some other great talent, and it's going to be even harder to choose your people's choice. And I am so glad I'm not a judge tonight because of that. We've had two great acts already, and it is time to move to our next act. Our next performer is Sarah Bowie. Sarah is a couples and wedding photographer from St. Mary's. She's passionate about capturing beautiful moments. She received her first professional camera in 2019, and her goal is to preserve memories for her clients. So Sarah is joining us tonight, and we are going to play, I believe, a slideshow of some of her work, and then Sarah's going to join us, and we'll have some chat time with her. So we'll move that over to take a look at Sarah's work.
We're constantly like, it's easy to just want to capture the prettiest moments, but every moment is beautiful in its own way. And I think what I love most is with couples that you're always at a different, unique time in your life. And so whether it's your wedding, your engagement, or beyond that, and in your later years, that moment is beautiful and unique, and it deserves to be captured. And I love to do that and get the authenticity of that moment so that they can have it and future generations can have it as well.
That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Do you have an Instagram that you want to share of some of your work?
I do.
You can plug that. And I will go back to Matt and get yours if you have one that some of your music on. I skipped that. But Sarah, if you want to share that with us, we'll share that here tonight as well.
My Instagram handle is SarahBethPhotos_. And I'm on Facebook too, but I don't know what that link is. I'm not really Facebook savvy, but
Sure.
Instagram's probably the best way to go for that.
Awesome. Well, hopefully folks will find you there. So let's hear from our judges. LV, we'll start with you first. What do you have to say about the photos you got to see of Sarah's work?
Well, first of all, I really loved the diffused lighting and how everything just looked so ethereal. It looked like, you know, what you would expect if you were to like go into a nice, pretty like meadow in like the early morning. And it looks so ethereal and magical. Like it's almost like I'm sorry, the first thing that came to my mind whenever I first saw the subjects together in the photo was that they looked like little forest fairies from A Midsummer Night's Dream. So it just has a very whimsical vibe to it, but it also looks very ethereal and very professional as well. So anybody who has photos taken like that, you know, I feel like this should be sort of like the standard for what they should expect and should want if they're going to get their pictures professionally taken. They were done very, very well.
Awesome. Thank you, LV. Thomas, what would you like to add?
I just wanted to add that the photos looked amazing. I thought they looked very professional. I've had professional photos taken of myself, and I've also dabbled in the photo taking fun myself. Not too good, I would say, but I've definitely dabbled in it, and I thought that your photos looked amazing. Another thing that's really cool about photography is with each photo, each session, each couple that you take pictures of, you're just going to keep getting better and better. So with that said, I think you're awesome at what you do, and you should continue doing it.
Awesome. Thank you, Thomas. Hunter, what do you think of Sarah's work tonight?
I think she is an excellent photographer. The pictures really do capture more than words ever could. And like LV said, the lighting and the pictures are very, very great as well. And I think she should continue to use photography in a way to help further her career in whatever major she is in.
Awesome. Thank you, Hunter. And Amelia, I think someone else made this list and you had to go last again. I think you'll get to go a little bit earlier in the lineup later, so everyone won't steal all of your comments. But what would you like to add about Sarah's work tonight?
Well, that's very fortunate that they have not stolen all my comments. So,
good.
First off, when I first saw the photos, they reminded me of very professional ones that you see on like those advertisements for like photos and album covers, and I think that's fabulous. I always like those. I really loved the colors you had, the couples, the background contrasted with them just perfectly. The composition, what you had them doing was fabulous. The last photo on the slide had beautiful motion capture. Well, not motion capture, but like a motion photo with no blur. It was very clean, and you shot all of these during the golden hour, an hour before the sun sets, which is a wonderful, awesome time to take photos because it just gives everything a beautiful glow. I think it was all planned out very well. Like, holy cow. I think you just did so well. So very, very well.
Awesome.
Thank you. I tried to make sure I picked pictures that obviously you want to showcase like talent because this is a talent show. But there's like, I was asking people which pictures I should send in. And the one with the hands that I sent in, no one said I should send in that one, but there's just something about it. You know, photography is art in its own way. And I was just like, I can't get away from that one. So I really appreciate all of your comments, since it is, even though it's a camera, it's a lot of personality and art that goes into that. So I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It was very well done.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for your feedback to Sarah. Sarah, you did say that you were that annoying friend that was always making people take photos. I think you should keep that up. Everyone needs that annoying friend to document those memories, because it's nice to go back and look and see, what you've done with your friends and how people have changed over time, and capturing those memories as you do for your clients as well. So thank you so much for sharing your talent with us tonight. We're going to shift to our next performer who is also an artist, but in a different kind of way. Our next talent this evening is Joseph Whipke from Parkersburg, West Virginia. Joseph has a love for art. He recently started showcasing his digital work on Instagram to connect with other artists and those who have similar interests. Joseph entered WVUP's Got Talent to show the local community what he can do. So Joseph, we're going to show your slides first, and then we'll come back and put you in the hot seat and see what the judges have to say about your work.
Sounds good.
All right. Sorry, folks. I was getting lost in the artwork. I thought I was watching a trailer for some of these movies. I'm still seeing those images come in because we are on a bit of a delay. But Joseph, some really interesting work there. So tell us, what kind of inspires you to do the work that you do as an artist?
Basically anything. I find inspiration everywhere, mostly, as you can tell, Marvel, Star Wars, that kind of stuff, because there's just so much that happens, and I just kind of want to like capture it and everything in like my own way, but pretty much find inspiration everywhere. I'll be out somewhere and be like, oh man, I should do something like that, and it's just fun to do.
That's really cool. You captured me when I saw the Mandalorian there, or your take on the Mandalorian. That got my attention because I am that Star Wars nerd and Marvel nerd. So and I know we've talked a couple times about those things. Do you have an Instagram handle you'd like to share with us tonight? Folks can check out other parts of your work as well.
Yeah, my art Instagram is @art_Achilles. So ART_ACHILLES.
All right. Well, yeah, check him out on Instagram. Thomas, we're going to hear your comments first.
All right. That one thing that I have never been able to do is draw, let alone anything even close to what you're able to do with your artwork. Joseph, first thing that captured me was the way you're able to bounce the colors off of each other and really not have a matte photo, I guess is my best way to describe it. You don't really have a matte photo. Everything from the top right frame to the bottom left frame has its own feel to it, and your drawing style is amazing, man. Keep it up, please.
Thank you.
All right, LV, turn it over to you.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw Bruno, I thought that it was a still from the actual film, and it took me a few seconds to be like, oh, that's the drawing. So, and it just continued on, and I literally went, holy crap. And I think they heard me in marketing from across the hall. But I am legitimately speechless because I think that I might just make myself sound like an idiot if I were to try and say anything with any kind of technical terms, because you would probably know it better than I do. Absolute master you are. I am just, they all looked so lifelike, like the shine on the Mandalorian's helmet, the colors, the composition, especially in the Spider-Man portrait. It was just, everything was absolutely gorgeous, well done. Everything was shaded. It looked three-dimensional. It looked like it was popping off of the paper, and I am extremely jealous, and I hope you know this.
Thanks, LV. Joseph, you're not quite out of the hot seat yet. I believe the president of the art club gets to give her feedback next. And I'm assuming, based on what I've heard from the judges so far and what I saw, it's probably going to be good, but be prepared for a very critical eye from our next judge, Amelia.
And he's right. This is my area of expertise, finally. First off, LV, how dare you talk about Bruno? We do not talk about Bruno. Anyway, yes, I felt the same way, actually, as LV was describing. When I first saw Bruno, I'm like, wait a minute. It took me a second to finally see your brushstrokes from the program you use, which I'm going to ask, what program did you use?
I use Procreate.
Procreate, that's a good one.
Mhm.
That is
That's personally my favorite. I've tried different ones like the IBIS and stuff, but I just like Procreate the best.
Yes, Procreate is a very good program. I love it. As I was looking at your pictures, I was amazed by 3 things. First, your lighting and shadows just hit just right. Like everything from the shine, like LV said, the Mandalorian's helmet, you could even see some of the little bits of color being reflected off of it. The in Spider-Man, the ring of light, I think, that was in the back, was reflecting off the suits, and it was really well done. Your composition, nothing was quite centered. It was just slightly off-centered, or you just had it just in the right spot to make it interesting. And then your proportions were amazing. Oh my gosh, you are very good at drawing people. I could see you spent a lot of time working on these, because for anybody who doesn't know, digital art can take hours and days and weeks, because it's a very slow process. Everybody thinks it's simple. You just click a few buttons, it is done. No, some pieces can take months. But it was amazing to see your artwork. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for such high praise.
Yeah, high praise from our strongest critic in the visual arts, and I think that's great, Amelia. Hunter, we're going to move to you. What would you like to add for Joseph's work tonight?
Like Thomas said, I can't draw. I'm not a drawer by any means, but I will say that was probably some of the best artwork I've seen in my personal life. The Spider-Man looked like something that I would see in a comic book or a graphic novel. It was that good. And like LV and Amelia said, the Bruno looked like I was watching the movie up close in person. It was that good. So great job.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Hunter. Thank you, Joseph, for sharing your work tonight. Those of you at home that are watching, remember you got the People's Choice votes tonight. It is not getting any easier for you to pick your favorite. But once you have settled on a favorite, if you already have, wvup.edu/vote. If you haven't yet decided on a favorite, that's okay. That'll be open until our last performer, and I'll remind you again of that. But our next performer is Silas Snyder. Silas is from Parkersburg and started dancing at the age of 6. He is passionate about his work, and it gives him a time and space where he doesn't have to think, but feel. And I told Silas that I have 2 left feet, so I'm probably going to be very impressed by this video. I'm assuming we're going to see a dance routine. So we'll turn it over to the video first, and then Silas will come back and you'll be in the hot seat with our judges.
달콤한 미소 내게 말해 속삭이듯 내 귓가에 말해 Don't be like a prey Smooth like a snake 손나고 싶은데 내게서 떠나줘 내게서 떠나줘 뭐라도 나를 날 구해줘 도망쳐봐도 거짓 속에 빠져있어 Shining the light 숨가렸던 날 찾아줘 이 거짓 속에 헤어날 수 없어 웃음을 들려놓고 Shining the light 이 지옥에서 날 꺼내줘 길을 잃고 헤매이는 나를 보니 왜 그래 뜨나 I'm just far away You always in my way 또다시 반복되나 내게서 떨어져 뭐라도 나를 더 잘 구해줘 도망쳐봐도 거짓 속에 빠져있어 가는 숨겨놨던 날 찾아줘 이 거짓 속에 헤어날 수 없어 내 웃음을 들려놔줘 거리는 이 지옥에서 날 꺼내줘 이 고통에서 헤어날 수 없어 넌 나를 구해줘
You good?
아직 나는 여전히 똑같은 나인데 예전 같은 place 나는 여기 있는데 너무나 커져버린 거짓이 날 삼키려 해 숨겨냈던 날 찾아줘 이 거짓 속에.
Very impressive, Silas. If I got on the floor, I would not be getting up anytime soon. So that was really good. I am always reminded as the host that my role is the host because there's no competition. There's no way I have any bit of competition. So that was good. And it's nice to see some variety in our show tonight. So Silas, tell us what got you into dance and what inspires you to continue as a dancer.
Well, I initially got into dance because my stepsister and I were very close when we were young, and she was disappearing once a week, and I was like, hey, I want to go with you. Now she hasn't danced for about 6-ish years, and I've continued because I have found that this is just my space to feel and not have to think about the world around me.
I think that's great. And I think everybody should find, a space to feel and not have to think, whatever that hobby may be. Mine is puns and talking, but it's nice to see that you found, I think, your area, and that's really great. So let's hear what the judges have to say. Thomas, you're up first.
All right. If we were rating off strictly just confidence, you win. You might as well just leave right now and take the trophy with you. But in all honesty, you did an awesome job. I actually haven't seen that since I've moved here. Actually, I've never seen anybody do anything with dance or routine or anything of the sort. So it's a first for me. And you actually did amazing. The confidence from start to finish. And I can't give away too much here, but just know you did awesome. You did awesome.
All right. Amelia, what would you like to add?
Well, so as I was watching it, I realized if I tried any of those moves, I'd break my knees. So, score 1 for you. That is very, I really like how well you went with the music. You really let your body feel the music as you were going, like you said. I felt your emotions through your dance. It was amazing. Now I have a question. Did you make it up on spot, or did you choreograph ahead of time, or did you just say,
So I do this competitively, and that's my competitive solo. So I've been training that since last June, with the exception of about a 15-second section, which was actually cut for the music for my competitive performance. But I couldn't get my hands on the cut version of our music because it's only on a CD, and my coach is the only one with access to it. So 15 seconds of that was improv, but the rest has been trained since June.
which is amazing. So I did notice that you had a lot of choreographed moves that you definitely knew what you were doing. And that is awesome. You also, I realized, would have to have very strong legs to pull off some of those moves. And you're very flexible with everything you did. I really loved how you utilized your space. You were not afraid to go from one curtain to the other forwards or backwards instead of staying in one spot. I know some people like to stay in one spot as they dance, but you utilize all the space you had and you really put your heart into it.
All right, thank you, Amelia. Hunter, do you think you could bust a move or just provide some feedback? What do you think?
I'd probably bust my face.
Same here.
Yeah, I'm not a dancer, but you did a really good job. Like Amelia said about the music, you could tell that you really felt yourself and your emotions, and you just let loose and really expressed yourself in a free manner, which I respect and admire. So, really good job.
All right, and LV, bring us home.
Okay. So even though I know almost nothing about dance, like technical terms, anything like that, I wouldn't know the first thing about it because I am unprofessional and I have zero talent. But on top of that, I can tell that you definitely knew how to like stretch your lines and look very elegant while you were moving around. And to kind of go off of what Amelia said, you definitely did know how to take hold of your venue and kind of take advantage of your space well. In order for the dance to have its full potential as you reached your full span, I guess. I'm not sure about the word I'm looking for, but that's close enough for the moment, I suppose. You do definitely show proficiency in your craft, and the fact that you've been training this since June definitely does show, because it shows like during your performance, you could sense your strength and the emotion that you were putting into the piece, and that was very easily seen, and it's almost palpable, honestly. So your confidence really did show, and it's, you know, very prevalent through the emotions that you showed, that this is kind of like your comfy little corner, and this is something that you genuinely feel passionate about. And I feel like that's something that anybody who saw that performance could see, that this is something that you take very seriously and that is very close and dear to your heart.
Thank
Thank you.
Oh, go ahead, Silas. Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
The reason I can use all that space is because I'm used to using a stage that is actually a basketball court. So space, I learned to use it all very quickly.
Yes, that was neat to see. Silas, do you have you said you dance competitively. Do you have a social media handle or Instagram or something with some videos or anything you'd like to share with our viewers tonight?
Fun fact, aside from a private TikTok, I am social media free.
Congratulations, good for you. I think that is good for all of us, and we can all at least take a break. So you'll have to find out where Silas dances next to see his performance. So thank you for sharing with us tonight. We're going to move on to our next performer, but just as a reminder, as I've said with everyone, we've been through 5 acts now, and you can submit your viewer's choice vote at wvup.edu/vote. It sounds like our judges have some knowledge and are judging some talent, but just in case they get it wrong, make sure you get your People's Choice vote out there so you can help us out tonight. Our next contestant is Christina Longfellow. Christina is a performer from Parkersburg. She's always been involved in singing and playing instruments, playing for her church and competition. She's excited to take the virtual stage tonight. And Christina and I were talking about the instruments that she played. If I'm wrong, correct me, but I think she said piano and also some stringed instruments, including the cello. And I've always wanted to play those, but I play a really good radio instead. So we're going to see Christina's video first, and then we'll come back in and have some discussion with our judges and Christina.
One day there'll be no more waiting left for our souls. One day there'll be no more children longing for home. One day when the kingdom comes right here where we stand, we will see the promised land. One day there'll be no more lives taken too soon. One day there'll be no more need for a hospital room. One day every tongue will confess. One day when our tired and weary bones find their rest. One day when the power of evil's brought to an end, we will see the promised land. We will see the promised land, and hallelujah, there will be healing from this heartbreak we've been feeling. We'll sing in the darkest night because we know that the light will come, and there will be healing. Hallelujah, and there will be healing. Hallelujah.
Wow, Christina, very good. So I just want to point out, and I think we put it in our social media comments, but that was filmed at the Oakland Estate, which is owned by our WVU Parkersburg Foundation, on a beautiful Steinway piano. Christina, could you just tell us a little bit about that song and why you chose to perform that for us tonight?
Yeah, and also it was beautiful filming over there. It's a great piano. I think I first heard that song in like 2020 in the deep, right in the middle of when COVID first started and everyone was freaking out. And that song just, I think, helped me cope with it, and it was just very meaningful. And I love playing that song. It's really fun for me to play. So I thought I'd use it.
I think it was an excellent choice. Let's turn it to our judges to see what they think. Amelia, we'll go with you first.
So as I was listening, I noticed that you kept the tempo of both you playing the piano and singing like really like almost perfect. Like it was so in time to your singing, and that's really hard to do because you're multitasking. You're playing the piano, trying to breathe, trying to sing, and that takes effort. What I loved, and yeah, what I loved the most is, sorry, my mind blinked. What I loved the most was the fact that while you're playing, your voice just fit with the piano and the notes and the singing. I know when you sing, you want to match the notes, but like your voice with the piano, it just came together. I can't explain it entirely, but your tempo is fabulous. Your playing was fabulous. Your singing was fabulous. It was just one fabulous performance. I loved it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Amelia. Hunter, you're up next.
First of all, the way you played the piano was awesome. It was really on point. I loved how you just it was awesome. The way you played it, you could tell you really were passionate about it while you were playing. And the second thing I'm going to comment is on how you sang. You really sang from the heart. Like, that was a very meaningful song. The vocals were just on point the whole time. You were confident, you were focused, you didn't mess up once. Overall, really great job. Really impressed.
Thank you.
Thanks, Hunter. LV, what do you have to say?
Okay, first of all, the way that you were able to multitask and were able to sing, play the piano, not make a mistake on either, have it blend well, have the tempo run smoothly, and not cry the whole time, which is what I would have done. I'm not even kidding. I'm trying to teach myself how to play piano right now, and I cry whenever I have to add my left hand into my right and do hand independence. But you just took that like a champ. You did so well, and I said something like this earlier to Matthew, but the human voice and just instrumentalists, musicians, whoever, they are their own instruments, and you know how to take care of two at the same time. And I cannot stress enough how difficult that is, just from my perspective of not knowing anything and having zero talent. But just the fact that you were able to have such control over both instruments at the exact same time. You kept the tempo. You have a gorgeous voice. It sounds like how, it's kind of like watching the light sparkle on moving water. Like it glitters and it glistens and it's just so pure. And you could hear all of the emotion that you had while singing that song. Like you could hear it like through the air and it like pulsated, and it was just a gorgeous experience to be able to have. So thank you very much for sharing that with us.
Awesome. Thanks, LV. Thomas, music from the Windy City, how does it compare? And what do you have to add to Christina's performance tonight?
Before I judge her at all, I kind of had a question for Christina. How long have you been making music? Have you been kind of singing for a long time now, or is it kind of just a side thing you have been doing for a short time?
I've been made to sing in my church since a long time, and my mom started me on the piano when I was like 3 years old, so it's really been a big part of my life.
Perfect. Then that's how you know life really does kind of put things in front of you on purpose. The singing, absolutely amazing, from start to finish. Like everybody else was saying, the tempo was amazing. Your tone, the way you meshed with the piano, it sounded like a song already kind of recorded and edited and put through a digital audio software already. Beautiful singing, beautiful piano playing, and please keep it up.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, judges. We are at the halfway mark. We have seen some visual arts. We've heard some folks. We've seen some dancing, and we have more to come. And it is not getting any easier. As I've said, every act, it gets much more challenging to figure out who is going to take home the prize tonight. And we also have a People's Choice Award. So if you've just joined us, if you've just tuned in, remember there is a People's Choice Award, wvup.edu/vote. That'll be open until the end of the final performance. And our next performer is another visual artist, Autumn McKenna. Autumn started digital art in middle school. She's always had a desire to create and is passionate about her work. She hopes to connect with other artists and share her work with the community. So Autumn, we're going to view your slide presentation, and then we're going to hear from our judges. Awesome. I'm still seeing it stream through, and I like the unique art that I'm seeing. Autumn, will you tell us just a little bit about what got you into digital art in middle school and what inspires you as an artist?
So I originally started digital art with just a mouse drawing on MS Paint, and my best friend at the time, she really got me into it, and she was a big inspiration to me. Almost every artist I meet is an inspiration to me. Video games are also a really big inspiration for me, creativity wise, and a lot of what I draw as well. Awesome. Awesome. Do you have an Instagram or social media handle that you want to share to showcase additional work that you've done? You don't have to, don't feel pressure, but if you do, we're happy to give that platform. Yes, you can find almost all of my artwork on any social media at Kiss Me Loser, but the O in loser is a 0. Okay, all right. Kiss Me Loser, but the O is a 0. Awesome. Hunter, we're going to have you start with feedback on, yes, Hunter, have you start with feedback on Autumn's work tonight.
First of all, I really like the Burger King one. That's probably my favorite, not only because I love food, but the way you captured the whole restaurant and everything else. It was right on point, right on cue. Good job. I really like the shades you did, the colors, all of it. So really good job. And you're a very good artist, and I hope you keep it up. Really good job. Thank you. Thanks, Hunter. Yeah, it is at that dinner time hour, and I am a little bit hungry, and I saw Burger King. I'm like, what I would do for a sandwich. Amelia looks like she's sponsored by Burger King tonight. I can't say that we're officially sponsored, but I know that is sometimes the food of choice for the Riverhawk when Ricky's Cafe isn't open. So it's kind of a backup that is nearby on campus. LV, what do you have to say about Autumn's work tonight?
I really loved all of the color schemes and just the way that everything was executed. Like the way, like for example, in the first two photos that we saw, I believe was the first one a self-portrait because it looks like it might be.
Yes, it was a self-portrait.
Oh, I caught that. Okay, I'm so proud of myself. Okay, sorry. But the first two photos, it just had a beautiful way of making the world look like it has more color, and it just brightens the world and makes it look like, just, you know, such a beautiful place. Not to say the world isn't a beautiful place, but it just kind of emphasizes that, especially like whenever we're so used to passing by things like, the Burger King in town or something like that. Like it helps to take something that is typically seen as just an everyday occurrence and make something beautiful out of it. And I really appreciated that. And it also just kind of reminds me of like, this is going to sound quite strange, but it kind of reminds me of like 90s cartoons on Nickelodeon, like with the color schemes and like the geometric shapes and things like that. Like it just made me think of Hey Arnold for some reason. But yeah, just your art really has a way of just like bringing beauty into the world and making it seem more colorful. And I really appreciated that.
Thank you. That was so kind.
Awesome. Yes. So Thomas, another visual artist, a little bit different, but some good quality art as we heard from our other judges. What do you have to say? What are you thinking at this point?
I was so happy. She has thus far, does not saying anything, but the most original art that I have seen. Not saying anything else, but the most original. And as I was talking before, when you introduced me, that's what I was kind of looking for, was you. I wanted to see you come out in whatever your talent is. And from start to finish, I believe you had 3 pieces of art that were shown. All of them I've never seen before. To kind of put a style to them, I would be cheating you because there kind of isn't a style to it. It's your own style. It looks awesome. And I'm very jealous of you because your work is amazing and it's original. And you don't see that much anymore.
Thank you.
All right, Amelia, I again, I didn't put the order together. The script says that you're the last one. For the visual arts, again, I do have to ask, how is the burger cake treating you tonight? Is it pretty on point?
Well, the fries are good, and this is water actually, because I am severely dehydrated. Remember, water first.
Yes. We've got a few weeks before finals week, but I would remind folks you need to eat well and drink plenty of water. But let's get back to the judges' comments instead of my diet advice. Amelia, what do you have to say for Autumn's works tonight?
Well, all 3 of them had excellent colors. Like, you have a great sense of a color palette. You didn't have your colors like, what's the word I'm trying to figure out? They didn't clash. Like, they all felt like they belonged there. Like in your first picture, it was very pastel-like, very vibrant colors, and they all fit together. There was nothing out of place. You had great contrast. And your line work was fabulous. You had thick lines, you had thin lines, you had all kinds of stuff indicating that you spent time on this and you have some great skill in it. The Burger King one actually has fabulous perspective. Everything just seems architecturally correct. And I have no idea how you got the BK circle so well done, but it's so great. And the colors on that were, like I said, you got your colors just right. They are in a great palette. You have a great sense of a palette. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the last picture kind of looked like some OCs walking in like a park area.
Yes, it was. They're 2 aliens and they're celebrating Halloween.
Oh, I love that. You had a great idea. Instead of sitting them in the center, you had them walking off to the side, drawing your eyes to them. And that is great composition. And the colors in that were very well done too.
Thank you.
All right, moving right along. Autumn, thank you for sharing your work and that original work as well. And just as a reminder, if you liked Autumn's work, you are welcome to go to wvup.edu/vote and compose your vote tonight for your favorite artist. Again, that'll be open up for the remainder of the show tonight. Our next artist is Julie Coberly. Julie is from Ravenswood, West Virginia, and she started photography as a hobby, and she loves to capture moments in time and has fun doing what she loves. So we're going to view Julie's work first, and then Julie, we're going to come back and chat with you about what inspires you. So be thinking about what inspires you as a photographer, and we'll come back in just a few moments. All right, beautiful fall in West Virginia. I recognize Babcock State Park. I do have to ask before I ask your inspiration, was that at the top of Spruce Knob, your first photo?
No, I couldn't see it, but I think what you're talking about is a scenic highway.
Highway, okay, yes. Were you in the eastern part of West Virginia?
It was the Highland Scenic Highway in
Yes.
Pocahontas County.
Awesome, down in Pocahontas County. That's kind of my backyard growing up. Beautiful area. So great photos. What inspires you as a photographer?
Really anything. It usually comes when I'm driving. I'll see a specific thing and it'll just, like a house on the side of the road with like the trees lined up and the way the sky is, anything. It could be a paperclip on the floor. I mean, it's just, there's like a vision that you can have with photography, and I think I have that, but I don't know.
We're going to turn it to judges to see what they think, but I would say it looks like you do. And being able to capture the beauty in everyday moments is really great. And having an eye for it to stop. Just remember, be safe if you do pull off the side of the highway. Worry about traffic first, not the photo first.
Right.
So you can take additional photos. But let's start with LV. What do you have for Julie tonight?
Well, the first thing that came to mind whenever I saw all of the pictures was they have a very consistent aesthetic, which I think is like, just because I'm a digital communications major, so the first thing that comes to mind is like, ooh, marketing. Like that's a person who can have like a photography business and they can have an established aesthetic and people are really going to love that kind of branding. But on top of that, like it just has like a very mystical feel to it, and the aesthetic overall just screams West Virginia to me, which is what I kind of thought of whenever I was like, oh, look at all the pretty autumn trees. And then I was like, it's that cabin. It's that cabin with the little water wheel. And I was like, this is essentially West Virginia. And so just everything was beautifully compositioned. You knew how to like take care of the colors and to have them pop out and just have the natural beauty of the scene show itself. And you have the photos and the way they were taken, they have a very poetic sense about them, which I really do tend to enjoy. They were all very gorgeous. I think my favorite one was probably the one with the flower. It just has like a very mysterious feeling to it, but it's also kind of just like, I don't know, kind of oddly comforting in a sense, like very home-like, you know. It just reminds me of home in West Virginia. So thank you very much for showing your photos with us today.
Thank you.
Thomas, I know we were talking, and I do like Chicago. I love the city. I love the Chicago skyline. It's really beautiful, architecture in Chicago. But when you come to West Virginia, you get those West Virginia hills and the beautiful fall colors and all of the wonderful parks that we have. And you saw those in the photos. What did you think of them? What would you have to say to Julie about this?
You captured them perfectly, Julie. From as LV just said, the aesthetic in every photo was perfect. It matched each other perfectly. And I really love that last one with the bees in there as well on the petals of the rose, or the rose of the flower. Sorry. You know how to capture a photo. And as you were talking about earlier, it's all about vision, and you have that. You said you think you have it. You could firmly say you have it.
Thank you.
You have a future. No problem. No problem. You definitely have a future in the photography business. just stick with it. Even if it's a hobby for a long time, just stick with it, please.
I plan to.
Awesome. Hunter, music fan and maybe some inspiration of music in the mountains of West Virginia. What do you have to think about the photos?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a huge John Denver fan, and John Denver would be proud. You definitely captured the nature of West Virginia. Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it. I agree with Thomas 100%. Stick with it. You got a really good talent here. The way you capture so many photos right there. My favorite is the cabin because, I'm backwoods. I love cabins and creeks and all. Swam, fished in them. You done everything in them. And I really like that picture the most because it felt like I was a kid, brought back a lot of memories. So really good job on how to capture just the nature as well. You did a really great job.
Thank you.
Awesome. And Amelia, composition and lighting, I'm sure are on your list of comments or part of your feedback. And let's see what else you'd like to add about Julie's work.
It seems like you know me so well already. Composition, yes. Lighting, yes. I'm done. No, I'm kidding. Actually, so your first photo, I really liked your background. Yes, your eyes go to the person, but sometimes you miss the small details of what's in the background. And I love that the hills came in and the road in the back. The next photo looked like it came from a postcard. Not gonna lie, like holiday postcards, because it was just so gorgeous. You just got it just right. Oh, and the color saturation of your photos is unique too, I noticed. You had a lot of, even though it was supposed to be like a warmer scene, you added some blue in there. And that kind of really drew me into it. And then your photo with the flowers and the bee and the little bug, I think was super adorable because the bee and the bug were just kind of sitting there on the flower doing its thing, But I really liked your micro shot of that. The petals were very clear. And it is hard to get pictures of really small things moving like that. But I think you did a pretty good job with what you had in getting that picture.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, judges. Julie, do you have an Instagram or a social media account you want to share? Folks can see additional work. Don't feel pressured to share, but obviously opening it up if you do.
I have a photography Instagram account, but I forgot the password, so I'll have to link my main account. It is Julie_Coberly. And feel free to DM me if you want some pictures or something.
Well, thank you for sharing. It's always great. Also, feel free to jump into that.
Please bear with us. It looks like we're having difficulties.
Sorry about that. It looks like the host of our meeting kicked me out. Apparently, she didn't like some of my comments, or she's getting tired of hearing me say, you can go to the People's Choice and vote for your favorite act tonight. We are getting close to the end. We're coming down on our last 3 contestants, and the talent keeps flowing. Our next contestant this evening is going to be Michelle Ray. I'm sorry, we have 4 folks. I am ahead of myself. We have 4 folks coming up. Our next person is Michelle Ray. Michelle started singing when she was 8 years old. Whether she's because I do it kind of quietly so no one calls like for help because of the way that I sing. But if you're probably great at this. Michelle is a self-taught pianist and she plays pop and Christian music. So we're gonna see Michelle's video first, and then we'll come in and chat with you.
Share my life, take me for what I am, 'cause I'll never change all my colors for you. too much. Just all that you are, everything that you do. I don't really need to look very much further. I don't wanna have to go where you don't follow. I will hold back again. This passion inside can't run from myself. There's nowhere to hide. Don't make me close one more door. I don't wanna hide anymore. Stay in my arms if you're there. Must I imagine you're there? Don't walk away from me. I have nothing, nothing, nothing if I don't have you. You see through right to the heart of me. You break down my walls with the strength of your love. I never knew the fuck I'm known with you. Will the memory survive? Oh, and I could hold on to. I don't really need to look very much further. I don't wanna have to go where you don't follow. I won't hold back again. This passion inside can't run from myself. There's nowhere to hide. You're the love I remember forever. Don't make me close one more time. I don't wanna hide anymore. Stay in my arms if you're there. Or must I imagine you're there? Don't walk away from me. I have nothing, nothing, nothing. Don't make me close one more door. I don't wanna hide anymore. Stay in my arms if you're there. Or must I imagine you're there? Don't walk away from me. No, don't walk away from me. Don't you dare walk away from me. I have nothing, nothing, nothing if I don't have you. If I don't have you.
Thank you for sharing your talent with us. So Michelle, what inspires you as an artist? What gets you singing?
I'm just a person who enjoys to sing a lot, just like whether that's in my room, whether that's around somebody else. I do actually sing with my youth group, with a leader for the kids and also for the Lord, of course. And I just enjoy singing. It's something that I've always done, whether that's, in the shower, just by myself kind of thing. But yeah, I've loved singing a lot. So.
Awesome. I'm afraid to sing in the shower because then singing leads to dancing and I will slip and fall. So try to be cautious on that. But I know some of our judges are artists and musicians themselves. Thomas, I believe you're up first for your remarks for Michelle.
All right. I have nothing bad to say about that at all. I really like your performance from start to finish. You could tell the authenticity with you. You could tell you've always just been singing and having fun with it and making it, you're out, or you're kind of, I'm losing the word. It's your way to escape. And you could definitely tell with that, you got emotional, and the further you got in through your performance, I could tell, you got better with it. And that's the thing, is I really like that. And thank you so much. Please keep it up and keep singing, because you have a future with it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Thomas. LV.
Hello. Whenever I first heard the first few notes, I was like, oh, it's Whitney Houston. I freaking love Whitney Houston. And I especially love this song in particular. So I'm very happy right now. On top of that, you can really tell that you have great joy whenever you sing, and you can sense that in your energy and in the way you perform. And that is one of the best things that you can do whenever performing, because that helps the audience to sort of get energized and to help them like feel the emotions that they're supposed to be feeling within the song. And you do that very well. And I especially like the point during the end, like close to the end, where you got really sassy with it and you're like, don't walk away from me. How dare you? I am not a snack. I am a 5-course meal, and you will respect that, sir. Like, you just completely went for it. And it gave me great joy to experience that. So thank you very much. But overall, your performance, it just had a lot of substance to it. It had a lot of emotion, and you can definitely tell that you are very passionate about this, and this is something that's very close to your heart. And, it's very easy for us to see that, or at least myself personally.
Thank you.
I'm interested where I can find an actual 5-course meal in town. I found some 3-course meals, but I'm always left a little bit hungry. So that extra, I don't even know what it is. Is it an extra appetizer or something? I don't know. I'm not sure that I've ever had a 5-course meal, but I'm going to have to go look for that. That's really great. Thanks, LV, for your feedback. Amelia, what would you like to add?
So, first, visually, by the way, when the fan is spinning above your head, it looks like you have a halo. And I just wanted to point that out. You get a great big halo while you're singing. I really loved that you were very confident. And it did seem you were very nervous too. Like you were nervous to just sing it very loud. You got quiet sometimes. But I know it's always nerve-wracking, even if you don't have an audience in front of you to that recording. Sometimes that other people are going to see the recording. So it's nerve-wracking. And you said you sang with a group, and sometimes singing with a group is different than singing solo. I love the energy, like LV said. It's all there. You have talent for it. If I will, be more confident when you sing. Don't be afraid to disturb your neighbors, because if they can't accept your art, walk away. They don't deserve you. A little advice, if I may, is when you're having trouble with stage fright, helps me a lot, is to count your breathing before you go. Hold it in breathe in 3, hold in 5, let out. Just slow your heart rate down. And then as you're singing, make sure you take full breaths to get your beautiful voice out. I don't think you showed your absolute true potential, but it's there, and I want to hear more of it. I think that you definitely, as was said, you very talented. You have a future in it. And I think that the song you chose was a great song for you to choose as well. And you really got those high notes. Some of those high notes, whoo, they make me dizzy from lack of oxygen.
Thank you so much.
All right. Hunter, what would you like to add and wrap us up for feedback to Michelle today?
First of all, really good job. I liked how you had fun with it. That's the most important thing. I mean, that's the reason why we have talent. That's the reason we like to share it with other people, is just to have fun with it. You did a good song choice. I mean, I know it's shocking, but I am a Whitney Houston fan. So I like the choice. And, just the way that you represented yourself when you sang, it was really cool to see that. And the way you expressed yourself was really, really awesome. And I hope you keep sticking with your passion, which is music. I really hope you stick with it.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing your talent tonight. And folks, just another reminder, if you want to help Michelle out tonight, you can vote for her for your People's Choice Award and support her for sharing her passion, just as with our other artists and performers this evening. Our next performer is a returning performer from last year, and she is another one of our artists tonight, and I've had the pleasure of having her in a class, Kimberly Matheny. Kim is a resident of Parkersburg, and she started drawing in the 8th grade. She is proud to represent WVU Parkersburg in the Fine Arts competition of WVP's Got Talent tonight. Kim, we're going to look at your slides, and then we'll chat with you. And I think I see, is that Finn in the background that just walked through? And I believe Mr. Bill the cat is maybe nearby the camera as well. So have them ready. Maybe they'd like to have something to say as well.
Okay.
All right, we're going to switch over to your photos first, and then we'll be right back. All right. I have a dog who loves the snow as well, and I saw that in your second picture, and that's really awesome to see. What inspires you in your art? And then tell us a little bit about your precious dog there.
That's my precious dog, Finn. I bring him to class with me. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with him. And if you're not, you're really missing something. But I'm inspired mostly by Dr. Reed Miller right now. She is such a great teacher. She's one of the most amazing people I've ever met. She is my mentor, and she just is so helpful to the students. So I just love her to death. And the feed, I'm trying to watch on my phone, and the feed is way behind. So I didn't realize I was coming up next, and I didn't get to see exactly what I had turned in. I kind of forgot a couple of the pieces, but I don't know. The one thing, this is kind of on a negative note, but I hope that this gets back to the president, that there is no, you can't major in art. There's no art major or visual art major. And that's just so sad, because I can't even, we have an associate's now in art, in visual art. But I already have my associates, so I can't backpedal there. And hopefully within the next year, I'll get to graduate, and it'll be a Regents Bachelor of Arts, but I would rather be able to major in visual arts.
All right. Yeah, we will definitely share that. And we do. I know Dr. Gilmer is a great supporter of the arts too. And I know we have a very active art club, but you're right. It doesn't, we need to build on that and support our students. So, happy to pass that along and continue to support through events like this as well, but also considering our classes and what we can do for students who want to pursue that and go in that direction. I'm going to turn it to Thomas first. And see what you thought about the artwork that Kim submitted tonight.
I thought Kim's work was amazing. It gives me a very old school, like rustic kind of vibe to it. Even just the portrait of it looked like a bull skull or something. I did watch the last year's Got Talent, and she had amazing work on there as well. So Kim, please keep up your work. I love it.
Thank you.
I can see too, Dr. Reed Miller has influenced you, and you've grown in your art. I wouldn't say improved, because your last year's work was really good too. You might feel that you've improved, but I think you've just continued to grow and build on that. Amelia, what do you have to say about the work that Kim has submitted tonight?
Well, first I'm going to put in a slight shameless plug. the art club is always welcome for everybody to join, and I'm so glad it got brought up. Thank you, Kim, because like I said before, I'm the president of the art club, and it is so much fun, and I wish more people knew about it and it was advertised more. But we're just a blast and a joy to be around, and we meet every Wednesday from 12:15. But anyway, done with that. Kim, though, all the art we've seen so far tonight has been digital images. Like, people have done them on programs, on computers, and things like that. Yours is completely 100% acrylic paint, besides the photo. I mean, that's kind of hard to do in paint, is a photo. But the one I liked the most was actually the black and white painting. Your shadowing is really well done on that, and I just love the lighting on it. And then I thought it was really silly. You included a picture of Finn with the snow on his face with the ball. And the ball had bright colors to it and drew your eye to it. You see that the picture was really well taken, because you see Finn with this grandpa mustache of snow with a ball in his mouth, and it just drew you in because there's this splashing color in there. And then your painting of Finn was just amazing, because I really like, again, you do this thing where you put colors together that draw your eye to it. So when I looked at Finn, I was drawn not only to Finn itself, the picture, but then to his bandana, and it really completed his look, and it really contrasted with the background, and it was really well done.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Amelia. Hunter, what would you like to add?
She definitely tried to hit me in my soft spot when I saw the dogs. Like, that's my soft spot. You know, I got a dog on my head, and seeing that really like warms my heart, because I have a soft spot for dogs, like I said. But I like the drawing where he's got snow on his nose. I thought that was awesome and adorable. I really like the artwork too, like the shading you had and everything else, and it was amazing. And I hope you keep with it and stick with it. And I definitely hope you get your bachelor's degree in art somewhere, if not at WVUP, then somewhere, because I really think you have a really great talent for it.
Thank you.
Awesome. LV, I saw you were clapping your hands. You're really energized here. I think the judges are hitting on some points that you want to bring up, but I'd like you to share with us what are your thoughts here?
Okay, so first of all, Finn is best boy. Let's get that straight right now. Second, whenever I saw the first couple of pictures of Finn, it is very difficult, especially for somebody beginning out in art. If you're trying to paint a subject, whether it's an animal or a human, if it's a living being that has like emotions, it's very hard to get those emotions and how that person or that being is in, like, never mind a traditional art form, but in photos as well sometimes. And I feel like Kim, you completely captured Finn, like both in traditional art as well as in photo form. And you captured his personality so well that it just kind of like jumps out at you. I really enjoyed also like the color scheme of the portrait that you painted of Finn, because, you know, it just helps to like give the eye some sort of like visual stimuli that's like a step above just having like a regular portrait, and it just gives it more life. And the way that his eyes shine and how they just kind of like pop out, it just kind of shows like how silly he is and how like kind he is, and just like what a good best boy he is. And then at the very last photo that we saw of the chalk drawing, I believe it was, of the skull and everything like that, if memory serves me right, the way you would do something like that is probably a pencil drawing on top of black paper, and then you would essentially just use the chalk to like slowly add in more values to create these shadows, which is very time consuming and very difficult to do correctly, at the very least, whenever you're first starting out. So the fact that you know how to utilize your tools and your talents in such a way in order to make these things the way that they are, and to make them as realistic and as, you know, to make them seem like, even though they're two-dimensional, you know, drawings, they have emotions to them, and you have a really great way of implementing that into your art. And I feel like that's something very special to be proud of.
Thank you.
Thank you, judges. I have to say, Finn has been one of my students in my class before, and all of my students are my favorite, but I think Finn is up there near the top. My own dog has not been in my class, so I think I can say Finn might be my favorite student so far, at least favorite four-legged student. So unfortunately, though, while Finn is the goodest boy, we can't vote for him in the People's Choice Award. The People's Choice Award, I've been told, is only limited to our contestants tonight, and you can go to wvup.edu/vote and vote for your favorite contestants tonight. Kim, thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing your work. Thanks for coming back from prior Got Talent evenings to join us. Our next contestant is one of my students, and I'm very proud to see her tonight. And I would probably put a plug in to say vote for her for the People's Choice, but I would have to say that for everybody tonight. So Kat, I'm sorry, I can't play favorites. I said it, but other folks as well. But Kat Smar is from Elizabeth, West Virginia. She has an interest in photography, especially sunrises and sunsets. She is passionate about photography because it gives her an opportunity to help people remember special moments. I also jokingly said I think it gets her out of the house and away from the kids just for a few moments, because she has a very busy life on top of being a full-time student, a full-time mom of several, and takes care of a lot of good folks. And I enjoy having her in class. Kat, we're going to look at your photos and then come back and chat with our judges. So hang tight. All right, I'm just seeing the last photo come through. Good variety of stuff. Plant life. I believe, is that a parrot I saw? I might be wrong on my bird identification. And then a young one. So
Yeah.
Kat, tell us a little bit about your inspiration, in your drive.
Okay, so when I was younger, I had, this is going to date myself, but let's go back to when you rolled the film. I would roll the film, take the picture. I was obsessed with sunsets and sunrises because the vivid colors. I ended up becoming I was a photographer with a little business, and I actually did pets. It was called Sunset Photography, but I did pets because no one did that, and I had the patience to work with them. So it's kind of what I did. And then I started my family. And when I started my family, now we're on number 10 child. I ended up wanting to capture every moment because you only get them for so long. So that's kind of where the baby picture comes into play. She's absolutely amazing and so precious and so tiny, but she's not that tiny anymore. So that's something that I caught. And then with the birds, I have two. I have a Amazon, and then I have a cockatiel, which both talk. This is a macaw actually, but they're very vibrant. They're very pretty with their colors. It's a part of my personality. So of course I went and got it. And I actually had to stand on top of a beam in between the chain link fence at the zoo to get that picture. So that was work. And then the chill of the morning, that's what I call the other one. Sometimes we go so fast in life, especially when you're a busy parent, that you don't look at what's around you. And I saw that one morning dropping my kids off and got my camera out, which I usually have with me, and then I took the picture. So
Awesome. I like the title of that, The Chill of the Morning. Also, I enjoy more sunsets than sunrises. I'm not a morning person, but it certainly is an experience to sit and watch. And a photo captures just that one moment in time, but there's a whole, experience for every sunrise and every sunset. And speaking of those experiences, let's talk to our judges and see what their experiences were by viewing your art tonight. And Amelia, you get to go first this time.
Well, call me a liar, but I loved everything. I loved the close up of the ice. At first, it confused my brain because I looked at it and I'm like, what is that? But the closer I looked at it, then like it's mesmerizing in a way, and I'm so glad you got to capture that moment because it's not very often you get to see these kinds of things, and especially in person. So I'm so glad you got to capture that moment, and so beautifully too. I love the way it just sparkles. The macaw that you took a picture of, gorgeous. It's a gorgeous bird anyway, the most photogenic bird, but like of all of the macaw pictures ever seen, that one was very original. That one was, and the fact that you had to climb to get it said something. It's like, whoa, you dedicated. She climbed up there. There's probably somebody in the background say, "Hey, get down there," something like that. But you got that moment, and then finally, the picture of your sweet baby. That melted my heart for a moment. Because just seeing her just lay there, sleep, and you had her in a circle, so it really drew your attention in to her. You're encompassing her, and that's really, really sweet. Actually, it really shows that you care for her and that she's your little girl. And I love the colors too, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amelia. I can do puns too. So Hunter, would you like to help focus in on some more comments for Kat's photography?
I see what you did there.
Thank you.
Good one.
Thank you. Makes me feel good.
I like the baby pic as well. I thought that like really expressed you and how like your parenting you are and how great of a mom you are. Loving, nurturing. I really got that from that photo, and the way you capture your pictures. I mean, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and you can tell by the way you do photography that that's definitely true. And I hope you stick with it.
Thanks, Hunter.
Awesome. LV, what would you like to add?
First of all, for the first photo with all of the little ice droplets, the little ice crystals on top of the branches, I usually, whenever I do photography, I usually try to focus on those kinds of things too. So that was like one thing that I was like, oh, I could bond over this. That's cool. And then on top of that, it's almost like, it's just one of those things where you would miss it if you didn't look out for it, because it's just the little things and the little details in nature that you don't really think of very often, but you ended up capturing that. And that's just such a precious moment to be able to have while it's there. And the same can be said for, the macaw as well as the small baby child, because, birds are finicky at the best of times, and then children can also be finicky at the best of times. So I enjoyed the colors. I enjoyed the colors in the macaw photo. It looked like something that you would see on like a postcard or on like a brochure of like, hey, come to this sunny place so that way you can have adventure or something. And then like the picture of the small child, like it looked so professional. Like it looked like how you would see like a lot of professional photographers, they would take like photos of like family or, like special events or like newborn children. And so with the way that everything was set up and arranged around the child, the composition was gorgeous. The child was exceedingly cute, I must say. And just everything about it just has like a sense of warmth to it. And I really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
All right, Thomas, bring us home with our final comments for Kat. We'll roll up the song.
Sorry. I thought Kat's artwork was amazing. From the first picture to the third, I really thought all of them, as LV said, could be postcards. That's the first thing that came to mind. How are these not? And then the baby at the end, I am a new uncle, per se. So my sister just had a kid. Yeah. And so seeing that, and then you putting in perspective saying, you're not going to have this for very long. And I know exactly what you mean by that. It's here we are 3 months later and the baby's 3 times the size. And, so you captured those moments perfectly.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Kat, for joining us. I'm proud to see you here on the call, and I'm rooting for you as one of my CJ students. Amelia put a plug in for the art club. I'm going to put a plug in for criminal justice. Since I'm the host and I get to say what I want to until they pull me off of this chair. So, Kat, it's great seeing you tonight, and best of luck for you. So, we are getting down to close to the end. We are down to our last contestant tonight, another artist. Just to remind you, if you want to vote for Kat, and I would advise that you do, you could go to wvup.edu/vote and put in that People's Choice vote. We're getting down to our last one, and that's going to close very soon. That'll close toward the end of the judges' comments for our last contestant, who is Savannah Stolper. She's from Kenna, West Virginia, and she's also a photographer who loves nature. Besides being a photographer, she's also a musician, playing the ukulele for the past 4 years. She's competing in WVUP's Got Talent to simply have fun. And I certainly have had fun this evening, and I'm looking forward to seeing our last video and slides from Savannah. And then Savannah, you'll be in the hot seat last tonight after we view your media here. Savannah, a double threat. I was not prepared to see both visual art and to hear you sing. That was amazing, and a good way to end our contestants tonight. Just let everyone know we are very close to closing that People's Choice vote, so make sure you get that vote in, especially if you're voting for Savannah. That's going to close very soon. But Savannah, why that song, and what inspires you as an artist, both music and visual art?
I think that song, it's mostly because it's just one of my favorite songs and it's so much fun to play on the ukulele. And I feel like it's the song that people expect you to play on ukulele because it's just that song. It's a ukulele song. So that's why I picked that song. And as for my art, I love being out in nature and with my photography especially. That's why I like photography, because it allows me to have that experience to be outside and be able to connect with everything around me. With music, it's just become my personal outlet for if I'm stressed or need a break from everything else. I go to music. That's just what I do when I need a break from everything.
That's great. That's awesome to hear. Thanks for sharing that. And I think you're right. It was one of those, as you started playing, I noticed the judges on our call here all bobbing their heads, kind of dancing a little bit to the music. I kind of still hear it in the background in my head too, or maybe it's on a delay somewhere. I don't know if it's stuck in my head or it's playing in the background, but thanks for sharing that. So let's hear from our judges. Hunter, you're up first. What do you have to say for Savannah tonight?
First of all, great song. Big fan of that song. The way you did the ukulele was perfect. I really liked it. I can't play an instrument except for the drums, which is, it's not as hard as a ukulele. So I give you props on that. And your photography, I'm going to say that you did a really good job of, capturing nature. And I really like the bird one that you took. Big fan of that. I was thinking cardinal. So, yeah. Overall, really great job.
Awesome. Thank you, Hunter. LV.
So, hello, Savannah. Okay, so starting off with the photos, it is very difficult to take photos of moving beings and animals in nature, just because it's very difficult. Like, you have to be very patient and stay quite still and try to find the right place, the right lighting, the right time, and it's very difficult to get those angles while not disturbing the birds and scaring them away. So with all of the photos that you took, they are very crisp and clear. I enjoyed all of the angles. The birds were very gorgeous. Mad props to you, because I would never have the patience. I would never dare. On with the song, your voice is so pretty and gorgeous. It sounds like you just have this very light sounding voice that sounds very ethereal. Like, it sounds like an angel. It's just, it's like a feather. It just kind of floats in the air, but it's not weak. It has a presence there, and it's just, it has a presence. It's very light, but it's not as if it's like airy. It just has a very sweetness to it. And that's a very difficult tone to come by, or at least in, my personal experience, which is relatively none. But your voice is just so unique and light and pure sounding. Like, I have never heard a voice that sounds as pure as yours does, along with just how light and gorgeous and ethereal that it sounds. The control and balance that you have with your voice, along with trying to allow your voice enough headroom to still hear the ukulele, but also not overpowering the ukulele, and also not having the instrument overpower your voice. Trying to find that balance along with playing an instrument while vocalizing anything is going to be difficult. So you did that immensely in such an amazing way, and I would be crying the whole time. So mad props to you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thomas, what do you have for Savannah tonight?
So for me, right after a performance, I was over here grabbing my head like, what? I thought when you were giving our bio earlier that it was just kind of a side thing that she played ukulele, not that she was going to come in and kill both. She was going to kill the photography and the ukulele. I really think you did awesome. For the photography, since I'm from Illinois, the cardinal is our state bird. So I'm very familiar with those. They're beautiful birds, captured it perfectly. And then when you came in and played Riptide, normally when people play Riptide, just being honest, and I've been around a lot of people who have attempted to play ukulele, they either kill the song or they don't kill the song. You killed the song, Savannah, and please, in your future endeavors, regardless of what you decide to do, please keep up with the ukulele and the photography.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Thomas. I just learned tonight that the Illinois state bird is the same as the West Virginia state bird, as the cardinals. So that's awesome. Amelia, bring us home. The last bit of feedback here for our last contestant. Certainly not the least, but definitely the last contestant. What do you have to close us out tonight?
Well, I have the hardest job, and that's speaking last, because it's shown in studies that you remember the first thing and the last thing. So I just wanted to say, Savannah, first, I want to talk about your photos. I love that you had a theme with them. They were all birds. And as LV mentioned earlier, they were very crisp. I loved that you had emphasis in each photo, and that was the bird. And your eye was immediately drawn to it, either through color or just how you were able to make the background fade away. And so that the only really crisp thing you can see is the bird. And I'm impressed that you got a picture of a woodpecker, because those things are skittish and really hard to find. So they were very, very well taken pictures. And as LV mentioned, they must have taken forever to take it. Second, the song Riptide, one of my favorites. As soon as you started singing it, I'm like, this sounds very familiar. Then you started singing it more and more, and I'm like, I know this song. And as Andrew mentioned, everybody was actually a little bopping their heads a little bit. They're like, we know this song. So it's always hard to perform a song that somebody or like a lot of people know, because they hear it a lot. And the fact that you were able to like kill it, as Thomas said, or not kill it. You were killing it, but not kill it. Gosh, it was awesome. I think you did a good job, as mentioned earlier in the performance, that playing an instrument and singing at the same time is really difficult. It's multitasking. It's really working your brain. On top of that, you sound beautiful. You had great intonation. You really held those notes. You're taking deep breaths so the sound came out clearly. Your ukulele playing skills are amazing, and I can't play guitar, and I've tried, and it is very hard. And if it's anything like that, I'm applauding you. I think that you had great control over everything from taking photos of birds to playing. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Savannah. Thank you, judges. We are at the end of our meeting. We have some very important business to do. You'll have to get the score sheets submitted as soon as possible. You should have a link and should be able to get those to you. You can directly message Rebecca in the chat for that, but get those score sheets in there. We're going to bring all of our contestants back on. We're going to keep them muted for a moment. I've got a couple of things for us to run through. I want to say that the People's Choice voting has closed, so hopefully you got your votes in there for your top choice and help our judges out tonight in making some decisions, some very tough decisions. It has been a wonderful time this evening to share the talent of our students, to see some of our returning students bring their talents back from years previous and get engaged. There's all kinds of opportunities for you to get engaged on campus here at WVU Parkersburg. There's many different clubs and organizations. I want to bring attention again to our art club, because we have had several visual artists here tonight. Our art club is open to all of our students, whether you're part-time or full-time, whether you're in an art arts major, or you're in nursing or criminal justice or business or education, any of our fine majors here at WVUP, they meet every Wednesday. Amelia, correct me if I'm wrong, every Wednesday at 12:15. Where can they find more information, Amelia, to be able to join the art club?
Well, sometimes the blue and gold posts that you get in your emails will mention art club. Recently, on Saturday, actually this Saturday, there's a cemetery on the grounds that we're going to be doing a cleanup for it, and it's a great opportunity for those who need service hours. That's going to be happening Saturday. That information is on the blue and gold posts on your emails. We do a lot of either fundraising, we help out the community. I can't remember exactly where we have like a solid link to go to. I don't think we do. But we have a lot of our meetings in person, and we do Zoom at the same time to accommodate those who cannot make it physically to the building. But I do know that in the blue and gold post that does provide information, and on the main website, I believe.
Okay, very good. Yeah, double check that blue and gold post. That's a great resource, not just for the art club, for other clubs and events happening on campus, including this event, which was shared in our blue and gold post, that's come out every Monday to your official WVUP email account. So make sure you keep in mind and check that. It's also on our social media accounts and on our college website. Also want to point out that we are, as we put in the chat on our social media, we are proud supporters of the Mid-Ohio Valley Arts Collaborative, and be sure to check them out on Facebook and see all the great things that they're doing in our downtown Parkersburg area and around the Mid-Ohio Valley. We have several people to thank tonight. I just want to thank all of our contestants for participating, for doing that hard work to get your work together, selecting the photos, the right photos, and the ones that you wanted to share and have to really pare down your portfolio. For those of you who danced and who sang and played music along with singing, the stress of trying to do that. And also, I know as a performer, it can be really challenging to be in an empty room with no one else there to kind of egg you on or to help you out or give you that encouragement. It certainly is a challenge as a host to be in an empty room with some of our other supportive folks in the background and not have that immediate feedback of the audience clapping and doing that. So I know that's a challenge. All of our performers, from Morgan Kale, Matt Van Fossen, Sarah Bowie, Joseph Whipke, Silas Snyder, Christina Longfellow, Autumn McKenna, Julie Coberly, Michelle Ray, Kimberly Matheny, Kat Smar, and Savannah Stolper. We'd like to thank our judges tonight, Hunter Schrader, LV Hissam, Thomas Hearn, and Amelia Hartzog for their kind remarks and feedback, and not only just pointing out all of the great talent that we have, but even giving some good constructive criticism where it was warranted and being able to do that. I'm getting a message from Rebecca that we're waiting on one judge, so make sure you've submitted your stuff. She really needs that so we can tally up the scores. I also really need you to submit that because I don't have a lot of material to keep us to fill. We want to get to those scores pretty quick because I don't think the audience wants to hear my puns or my attempt at a comedy routine. Several of my friends have said, please don't do stand-up comedy. Don't even try sit-down comedy. Just keep your day job. It's a safe thing. So I promise I won't get into that and have a surprise comedy act here at the end. We'd also like to thank our digital media production students who helped film some of our acts. We'd like to thank the WVU Parkersburg Foundation and letting us use the Oakland Mansion to film one of our acts tonight. Our students work really hard. We have some really great learning experiences on campus in our programs. All of our programs offer hands-on learning experiences and connections to real-world opportunities and connections to get ready for employment as you're going through your programs here at WVUP. We'd also like to thank our marketing team helping submit that or get that stuff out in the blue and gold post and put up the signs and pull all this stuff together. We've got some wonderful people working behind the scenes. We have Rebecca Rhodes, who is coordinating the Zoom call. She only kicked me out of the room once, and I won't give her too much of a hard time about that, but we thank her for helping coordinate and keep us all in line. Austin Wyford is helping us run the technology in the Zoom call, keeping me on track and making sure that I am, ready to talk right after the videos. He's the one that's behind the scenes playing the videos, and we really appreciate his hard work in that. Jeremy Harrison in our digital media production program here on campus, helping out with all of the work that he did. We have Dr. Tori Jackson, who's also behind the scenes.
Wait, were you trying to do this without me? I mean, come on. How many years have we done this together?
Well,
move over.
I've
Hi,
been
guys.
here. Hey, there she is. I mean, where have you been all night? Here,
I
I've
know.
been here all by myself.
Right, just because you were afraid I'd be wittier than you are.
You're probably right about that. I hate to
Uh-huh.
admit it.
Guess what? I have results.
We have results. Well, just a moment before we get the results, we do want to remind folks and thank our prior contestants. This is our third annual Got Talent, and if you remember back in 2020, right before we all went home for a little bit of time, we had Tim Bales was our winner, our inaugural winner, and last year our first virtual event, we had Olivia Kinder was our winner in 2021. So who is going to be joining Tim and Olivia in this year's winners?
That's a really great question. But before I give you the answer, I need to tell you of an exciting opportunity, even for the person who isn't named the winner tonight. The Alpine Theater in Ripley is starting to do presentations again, and they're partnering with the WVU Parkersburg Foundation to allow some of our performers to do a live performance with people in the same room.
Oh wow, that'll be nice to see people in 3D. That'd be great.
No, it'll be really great. And so we have that opportunity coming this summer, and the programming committee is going to choose some of you based on tonight's presentations. They're going to watch that. So even if I don't say your name right now, please know that you still have a chance to do a live performance this summer.
I also, before we announce our winner, I forgot one important person that we wanted to thank. I want to thank our student activities coordinator, Samantha Suggs, who had the vision for this a few years ago and put it on and has helped coordinate everything. She wasn't able to be with us tonight, but Sam, we're thinking about you, and we're glad that you kept this going to be able to showcase our students' work and all of the work that you've done to put this together with your vision and support for that. So I don't think I've forgotten anyone. No. If I have, I'm so very sorry. Please send me an email and I'll try to remember you next year. And keep you on our running list. But
if they let him come back.
If they let me come back, I hope. Look, it's either that or I'm going to be doing a comedy show and it's not going to be great. So
well, on behalf of Andrew Rokas, I'm going to say that's not the option.
It's probably not. So we have our winners.
We have three winners. We have a People's Choice winner.
All right. Our People's Choice winner tonight is, you can imagine the drum roll in your head, Autumn McKenna. Autumn, congratulations. I think she's on the call here.
She is. Would you like to give a congratulations speech, Autumn?
Sure. I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate it. And I'm really glad I got to share my art and meet some artists. I'll definitely be looking for those Instagrams to follow you guys.
Awesome.
This was very fun. Thank you.
Congratulations, Autumn. And we have
two other winners.
Two winners. We have a winner in the Fine Arts category. Our Fine Arts category winner tonight for the 2022 Got Talent is Joseph Whipkey. Congratulations, Joseph. Look of surprise on his face. Joseph, are you serious, or would you have just a moment or a few words to say?
I just want to say thank you, guys. I honestly didn't really expect to win, but that means a lot to me. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And tonight, and keeping in mind, these winners are our judges' choices tonight. So if you have problems with the choices, you got to talk to the judges. But our 2022 third annual WVP's Got Talent performer winner tonight is,
da-da-da-da,
with her ukulele, Savannah Stolper. Congratulations, Savannah.
Well, thank you so much. I never really thought I'd actually win. I mean, everyone else is also so talented, so thank you.
You had a lot of competition tonight, Savannah. I believe all of you did very well. Thank you for participating, for submitting your work, allowing us to critique your work in front of a live audience. And we are, I believe, recording this, so you can check it out again on the WVUP's YouTube channel. Yeah. Dr. Jackson, is that all for us tonight?
I believe it is. So we are done with the punny jokes. You guys have a great evening, and we'll see you next year.
See you next year, everyone.